What's up, everybody listening on their radios? This is Sports Pal, coming to you live from New York City. I am your host, Andrew Pollack, joined as always by the wonderful Frank Todaro. Hello, Frank.
Revolve around medical issues at all, but I've got to know him pretty well, and I had absolutely no concerns about his cognitive ability or his neurological function.
The 25th Amendment, a lot of people in the country have been talking about it. Was there something you were worried about specifically?
I was not going to do a cognitive exam. I had no intention of doing one. The reason that we did the cognitive assessment is plain and simple because the president asked me to do it. He came to me and he said, is there something we can do, a test or some type of screen that we can do to assess my cognitive ability? And so I looked into it, and once again, and my initial question was that I didn't think it was indicated and I didn't think we should do it. After looking at some of the guidelines, there are a few guidelines out there that lean in the direction of potentially doing it. You know, the Medicare guidelines and some of the NIH, National Institute of Aging, they've indicated that it might be a good thing to start doing for most patients in the future. With that in mind, I went through and I looked at a variety of the cognitive assessments that were available. Most of them were very simple, very short, and I think that's the goal actually for primary care providers in doing this, is to keep it simple, keep it short. We picked one of the ones that was a little bit more involved. It was longer. It was the more difficult one of all of them. It took significantly longer to complete, but the president did exceedingly well on it. So that was not driven at all by any clinical concerns I have. It was driven by the president's wishes, and he did well on it.
There have been reports that the president has forgotten names, that he's repeating himself. Are you ruling out things like early onset Alzheimer's? Are you looking at dementia-like symptoms?
I think that cognitive test, it's well respected. It's a test that's used, throughout the United States. Lots and lots of institutions use that test. It's the one that they use at Walter Reed for patients that they feel like they need to do cognitive screens on. So it's a universally accepted test. And like I said, it's a little bit more extensive than some of the shorter ones that are in some of the guidelines. But it screens for all those things. It screens for any type of cognitive issues, Alzheimer's and all those other things. And so the fact that the president got 30 out of 30 on that exam, I think that there's no indication whatsoever that he has any cognitive issues.
Could you just elaborate in layman's terms, if possible, and you've been doing a great job at that, what you ruled out in these cognitive tests?
All right, everybody, and welcome to your January 17th, 2018 episode.
I'm Donald Trump.
Yes, and you just heard the White House doctor gave President Trump a clean bill of health. He scored 30 out of 30 on the cognitive test that he actually volunteered for. Andrew, how are you?
Well, considering that we are now in this phase of the media becoming more insane with how Trump is mentally fit to be president, I am doing all right.
Yes. I mean, listen, if you hear that press conference, this guy is probably he's probably one of the best doctors and physicians probably that available in the land, and he's telling these idiots he gave Trump he passed well on flying colors on the physical tests. Nothing showed up, and then the president he actually volunteered. This doctor I forget his name. He said he didn't really think it was necessary to give Trump to administer Trump a cognitive test because he talks with Trump every day. He's been talking with Trump almost every day since for a year, since his inauguration.
Well, I'm going to say this is that I don't find President Trump mentally insane. I just find him to be arrogant at times.
Listen. He's an old school New Yorker. He talks with no filter. That's that.
With that Manhattan accent, of course.
Yeah, and that's and he gives zero fucks. Okay, that's why. Yeah, he doesn't give zero fucks, and that's why. Yeah, he don't give a fuck about you, Hillary. And that's why he's the president, because he bonded with is with the American public. There's a section of the American public that likes this unpolitically correct stuff. A lot of people got tired of the PC culture, of the just bullshit, and it's a breath of fresh air to have a politician who talks without a filter. I mean, sometimes does he go overboard? Yes, on his tweets, yes, of course. But to suggest that he's mentally incompetent, as the news says,
I don't find him that way. No.
It's like we'll talk about this well later. Like when he tweets to about Kim Jong-un, and they say, "Oh, he's the crazy one. He's gonna get us all killed." No, you fucking idiots! You got a dictator there, the son of a dictator, two dictators who are North Korea, who've kept the people in North Korea in dirt since the end of the Korean War. Andrew, you remember that video we played a few months ago when the Kim Jong-un's father died? The Koreans cried for 3 days. The people in the streets cried for 3 days. If you're listening, anybody's listening, go on YouTube and type North Koreans cry for 3 days. So when Kim Jong-un's father died, North Koreans cried in the streets for 3 days. Everywhere. They had to cry. And
Frank, I have the perfect move for Rocket Man.
It's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round here to find they think I am at
home. All right. You're breaking my ears. That's too loud. So yeah, it's funny. So yeah, listen. It's absolutely hilarious when Trump belittles Kim Jong-un by calling him Rocket Man or little fat man, because that's what he is. He's a piece of shit. I've how many times have I gone ad nauseum on
a freak out in Hawaii for no reason?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about that later. Yeah, how many times I talked about this on this show about people in North Korea who are starving. They're eating grasshoppers and rats. Nothing moves. If you can go on YouTube and get
Venezuela.
Yeah, maybe North Korea might be even worse. Oh, you saw a picture I saw an article the other day. Venezuela, there was people found a cow wandering around and they fucking attacked them. It's ridiculous. But Trump's the crazy one. It's not Kim Jong-un. He's not the crazy one. When Kim Jong-un launches missiles at Japan, it's Trump's fault. But anyway, getting back to the point, Trump, of course, we heard that the White House doctor, he gives him a clean bill of health. He scores 30 out of 30 on the cognitive test, and the press, like little children, are still asking him, "Oh, he forgets names. He sometimes stutters." Who doesn't? Don't you forget a name sometimes? Don't you stutter sometimes? The president speaks, especially the president. He speaks. He's on camera 24 hours a day, and now with social media.
And you know what's crazy? Speaking of remembering names, the only reason why I remember my new supervisor's name at work is because it's the reference from Cars where Lightning McQueen was buckled up to the asphalt thing. I don't know what it was called, but you get the point.
Yes. I mean, come on. Who doesn't forget a name? Who doesn't stutter once in a while? Especially when you're in public speak. When you're public speaking,
yes.
Yeah, when you're like the president, it's not like he stutters. And you did. I could have played this. Go again. Go on YouTube and type Obama stuttering. Obama. Listen, Obama was a good speaker. He had his cadence. But yeah, when he spoke with a teleprompter in front of him, when he used to go on those rallies and he used to speak to the audience without a teleprompter, it was a different Obama. The guy, he would stutter. Believe me, listen, the press now has become. This is worse. It's almost worse than Russia, the Soviet Union. Russia's is 100 times better than this press. In the old school Soviet Union, the propaganda, the press demonizing Trump and Obama, he couldn't do no wrong. It's clear he has favorites. Then you got shitheads like the governor, our governor from New York, Governor Cuomo.
Oh, Cuomo!
This guy, I mean, he is the worst. And I heard today that he's looking to raise taxes in New York.
Yeah, and he wants congestion pricing in Manhattan.
Yeah, you see, he tweets out that he bullshits stupid liberal Democrat voters that Trump's tax plan is going to hurt the middle class. But this mutt, he's a fucking idiot. I hate his guts. Him and his brother on CNN, who's just a fucking shill.
Chris is a bigger moron.
Yeah. Of course, he's a bigger moron because his big brother's the governor. Obviously, Chris Cuomo isn't as good as his father or his brother. His father, Andrew Cuomo, was the governor of New York in the 80s.
Mario Cuomo.
Oh, Mario Cuomo. I'm sorry, Mario Cuomo. And look at the 80s. What happened in New York in the 80s? High crime, poverty, and then what happened when the governor after him? I can't forget. I forgot his name.
Giuliani and Pataki did an excellent job.
When Pataki and Giuliani got in there in the early 90s, New York turned it around. The crime started dropping, and New York is where it is now because of them. But anyway, I digress. We went on a little bit of a long rant there. Just quick. Well, Andrew, you're gonna. All right, let's just get this out of the way. Andrew's gonna do his quick 2-minute warning, and then we'll at 8:15 we'll talk about I'm going to explain more about the cognitive tests, and we'll talk about at 8:15 we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about 8:19, 8:20 we'll talk about the shithole countries, and 8:25 we'll talk about the fake news awards that I promised last week, but we'll get to that. And then, of course, at 8:30 we'll have Andy will read the news. Hopefully his Wi-Fi will hold up this week.
Yeah, I recalibrated my Wi-Fi.
Listen, Andrew, don't embarrass yourself because in 5 minutes, if your Wi-Fi goes, you're going to look like a fool. So just don't even say nothing, okay?
Okay.
The audience is bored with the Wi-Fi, okay? All right, so let's start the recap. It's time, Andrew. What is it time for? It's time to distract the masses.
Time to distract the infidels.
No, death to the infidels and distract the plebeians with bread and circuses.
Oh, I knew it was another word that started with P.
Yes, the plebeians. Yeah, that's your favorite word. The plebeians. What's a plebeian, Andrew?
Dummies?
No, a plebeian is that's from the Romans. The plebeians were commoners. It's a commoner, somebody without a title.
Oh,
a peasant. They're peasants. Anyway, the NFL is wrapping up. Last week, Andrew, your picks for the division around. So let's go. You picked the Falcons -3, and they lost to Philadelphia 15-10, and so you lost outright. That's a loss. By the way, you started off last week 33 of 42. That's been your record for the 2017 season. And all right, so then we move on to the Minnesota Vikings. If anybody's a football fan, you saw that dramatic ending, and Andrew,
I was screaming at the TV when it happened.
That was like a Madden 2000 2K18 glitch. That led. What happened was Minnesota was down 24-23 with seconds left. They threw a pass downfield and.
What happened specifically was that Casey Keenum threw to the wide receiver Diggs, and Diggs was able to run it for 61 yards, winning the game 29-24. Yeah, so I covered because I gave him -3.
Yes, because the corner from the Saints, he went to go. He attempted a shoulder tackle and he completely missed. He hit air. He tripped. I don't know what he did. And that allowed the Vikings to win 29-24 over the Saints. That's a win for Andrew. And then we move over to the AFC. The mighty Patriots were favored by -14 over Tennessee. They win handily, 35-14.
I covered.
Yes, you did. Another AFC championship for Tom Brady and Belichick and the Patriots, 35-14 over Tennessee. That's a win. You're on a streak here. And then we move over to the Steel City. Steelers -7 over Jacksonville. In a shootout, Jacksonville wins 45-42 to advance to the conference championship. That's a loss for Andrew, so that brings you to 35-44. So now, Andrew, the 2-minute warning for the conference championships as the season winds down. Let's go.
All right. So, quick, I'm going to play the last time this year the lock sound effect. And there's a reason why I'm playing it for the last time this week.
All right, come on.
Yes, I want to congratulate the Jacksonville Jaguars for making it this far. But I'm going to be honest, they're not going to learn how the Patriots cheat or win in that case at home, which New England will be at Foxborough. So New England, second straight year, they will be in the Super Bowl. They will win -9 points. Now, on to a game which I think will be close in Philadelphia. The Vikings might make history if they win this game. If they win,
Andrew,
them -3.
You're scratching, Andrew.
Oh, let me stop playing the soundbite. Can you hear me
please,
now?
Don't play anything. Don't play anything. Play your voice.
I think it's acting up. Okay, so let me recap. So if the Vikings win, they make history. They are the first team to ever host a Super Bowl because it will be in their own building in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. So for the historical sake of the game, I am giving the Minnesota Vikings -3 points to beat the Eagles at Philadelphia. Super Bowl 52 matchup will be New England playing Minnesota, and that's my trolls.
All right, those are pretty good picks. Okay, so Andrew,
like that matchup too. That's what I hear.
Okay, all right. So thank you, Andrew. Andrew, fix that Wi-Fi. All right. So moving along now, I want to play this again. And enough with the comedy and the sports. Again, the Hollywood crowd, the celebrities are at it again, trying to influence American politics. These losers, these idiots, these nobodies. Nobody cares about them. In 2018, if you still worship celebrities, entertainers, I mean, you're just the lowest of the low.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
All right, whatever. Mark Wahlberg's cool. At least he speaks out. You have some. And listen, this is not again. I always say it. I'm not Trump's lawyer. I don't care. I defend the truth. I don't like the bias. So anyway, these clearly Hollywood has an extreme bias. They are the racists. They are the fascists. The Hollywood wants to push, about racism, equality, misogyny. Really, who and what industry can you name in America that's lacking behind? Only recently did you have a black African American actor or actress winning an Oscar or Academy Award. Only recently, women are being highlighted now. You see how women are being treated in Hollywood like rags. So don't preach to nobody. These are the people that applaud a child rapist who had to escape the country from facing trial.
Yes, Roman Polanski.
Yeah. So anyway, Andrew, are you familiar with the show Roseanne, the old show Roseanne from the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, they have it on that Laugh Network every day.
Yeah, well, it's coming back on.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm definitely aware of that.
Okay, well, the big news with that is Roseanne. The
Roseanne likes Trump. That's the news.
Yes, but the thing with that show in the 80s and 90s is they represented middle America.
Yeah, the blue class worker.
Joe Lunch Pail, and they would so they kept it real, and so to keep it real now. They will be the show. They will depict that they are Trump supporters, and of course, this is you see how just to say this, it's so controversial.
Well, I'm sure John Goodman likes Trump.
I don't know, but whatever. Just this is so controversial to support Trump. I mean, could you imagine this? Could you imagine a show in 2010 that it would have been controversial for a sitcom family to support Obama? Hey, they would have been called racist and stuff. Anyway, Andrew, so you have watched Roseanne?
I've seen a few episodes. My favorite, I'm going to be honest, is the one where they go to the casino in Vegas.
Do you remember the daughters, the blonde daughter?
Oh yeah, I remember her too.
Becky, remember Becky?
Yes.
No, the original Becky. There was two Beckys.
Wait a minute, there were two Beckys? I never knew that.
Yeah. The first Becky, she was the one with the short hair, the short blonde hair. She's the one who lost her virginity on the show. And then she quit the show, and then there was another Becky. I was actually friends with the first Becky.
Really, I didn't know that.
She lived in my neighborhood, and she actually liked me a lot. But I don't know. She looked very. It was weird. It was weird talking to her because she was a big drinker. She always used to hit up the beer spot, the beer garden. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. It was weird, seeing Becky drinking with me, but it was cool. But she's real down to earth. I don't know. Anyway, but I'm going to play a little thing here about just Hollywood, the mind control. Listen, all these actors. Andrew, what's an actor?
An actor is somebody who plays a role.
Who gets paid to play a role. These actors are salespeople. They are getting paid to sell the audience something, whether it's a movie, a commercial, a product, something. And in this case, they are getting paid to sell people on politics. And make no mistake, these award shows these meaningless award shows that it's just to celebrate themselves. It means nothing, and they get up there now. The thing is, they have to say something and make themselves feel great. So it's all brainwashing. It's propaganda. Hollywood is the enemy of the people, and so is the fake news. And I'm just play this for a few minutes. It's a very interesting clip.
Are you awake? Are you really awake? How do you know you're awake?
My millennials, stay woke!
This is your last chance. After this, that's where the story ends. If you take the blue pill, you'll wake back up in your bed. Believe whatever it is you want to believe. Back to the world of fake news, social media echo chambers, Hollywood smoke and mirrors, self-aggrandizement, Botox and boob jobs. Or come with us and take the red pill and see really how far the rabbit hole really goes. Hollywood is a system, and that system is our enemy. When you're inside it and you look around, what do you see? You see actors, celebrities, models, singers, directors, producers. Those people are not ready to be unplugged from the system. All the controllers and those that protect that illusion, they are our enemies because they will fight and do everything in their power to protect that system. We're trying to open your mind. I can only show you the truth, but you have to want it.
What are we looking at here? Well, this is obvious in your face, persuasion, basically. Usually everything is a little more mellifluous and seductive. So usually there's a subliminal persuasion going on, often like what you see in the film They Live. Obey, consume, submit. And this is really just in your face. But you're going to see on ads, you're going to see in the news, you're going to see in entertainment, video games. Usually something will be enmeshed. In your conscious mind will be directed to look at one thing, while over here, something is being seeded into a person's subconscious, usually directly going into the limbic system. So the limbic system...
All right, so there you go. Andrew, did you hear that?
Yep. And guess what else I heard?
What did you hear?
That's what I heard.
Yes, Andrew is woke. Listen, the point is, if you heard the woman, listen. I've studied this. It's the way people take. What is that noise?
That's me crackling my knuckles.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Because I'm pissed off at Hollywood.
Listen, it's all around you. We take in sensory information every second you are awake. You're taking in sensory information. You're looking at something. Right now, I'm looking straight ahead, and on my phone, I see the label AT&T, the symbol of AT&T. That is being ingrained in my mind to be
same with my phone with LG at the stylo.
Everything. We take in millions and millions of pieces of information, and some you remember, some you don't, some you subconsciously think about. And this is a lot of this programming is done, as you heard the woman. It's done subliminally. If anybody who doesn't know, Andrew, TV originally had subliminal messaging when in the 50s and 60s. I think they passed a law. They did pass a law banning that, but you can't tell me that they're not doing it again. So you know what a subliminal message is on TV?
Yeah, they hypnotize you to believe in something that you don't really believe in.
Subliminal messages is real quick. You don't even know it's there. So you may be watching TV, and all of a sudden something might flash so quick, and it stays in your mind. Anyway, that is we are just being bombarded. The whole point is these Hollywood people, even in their movies are full of this. You saw Star Wars. What was that? What was the new movie that came out?
The Last Jedi.
It bombed. Why did it bomb? Because they're trying to do social justice Star Wars. The characters are gay. The hero is a woman. You know, and not that there's anything wrong, but it's not real. It's not genuine. It's not organic. Do you know what was this? What was the movie before this? Before the Star Wars?
There was The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens, and this was what?
The Last Jedi, which was way too long. Way too long.
So basically, The Force Awakens. Somebody actually I read. It's The Force Awakens is the same as the very first movie. It's a remake of the first movie. If you really look at it with different characters playing the roles.
Maybe on something.
No, it is. If you just look at it, it is. But the point is, we're just being brainwashed, and we'll cover the news in a little bit. Then, of course, the other weapon now, racism. Andrew, you know, it's being weaponized by the media, by the politicians. That idiot Cory Booker, he's crying. He's up there in the House Congress. He's crying, outraged because Trump said shithole. Oh my God! Listen,
you almost sound like Alex Jones there for a sec.
No, that's a whiny voice. Like, oh my God, shithole. Oh my God, it's.
Oh my gosh, I'm trending.
Yeah. Trendies.
Oh, look at all those trendies.
Was that your Alex Jones impression?
Pretty much.
Do that again.
And look at them all trending.
Trendy. Yeah. No, like Cory Booker, like this guy never heard the word shitholes, and he's so upset because Trump called them a shithole country. Listen, he called them shithole countries. They are shithole countries. Go Google Haiti.
Go Google Venezuela, and you'll see that's a shithole country.
Go Google Africa.
And I'm sorry for offending Venezuelans, but Maduro has ruined your country.
Listen, that's the problem. When Trump says,
and fuck Nicolas Maduro, that's what I'm going to say.
Trump calls these places shithole countries. The countries are shitholes. He didn't say these. He said, why do we have to take these people from shithole countries? He didn't say, why do we have to take these shithole people from the shithole countries?
But Venezuelans should be coming to the United States.
Yeah, that's why that's what immigration is about. Immigration, since the beginning of the history of our country, is the people want to come to this country because their countries are shitholes. They don't want to live in their countries because they want the American dream, because America is the land of opportunity, and their countries are shitholes. Go to Africa, where people female mutilation, people are slaughtered. Go to Libya now because of Hillary and Obama. The slavery is back. You're worried about racism? How come you don't worry about, there's slavery in Libya. The people, they have people locked up in cages being sold. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, all right, let's move on because we're just.
We have very important news. Very important news.
Before we get to the news, last week, Andrew, I told the audience that we were going to cover the fake news awards. Trump tonight was hosting on January 17th the fake news awards. He delayed this once in the beginning of the month. He announced that he was going to give the fake news awards to the most dishonest and corrupt media networks. CNN is probably going to take a lot of awards. But as of this time, I think Trump he's delayed this. So people are calling this. He's saying that the fake news are the fake news awards are fake news. And you got Jim Acosta. He's tweeting out, "We are real news, Mr. President." # real news. No, you're not. You're a loser. Real news. Andrew, I just saw an article that CNN is predicting Trump will have a heart attack in 3 years because he's obese.
Oh, that was the Drudge Report. Yeah.
And this is after the doctor that we just made you hear at the beginning of the show gave Trump a clean bill of health. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it. That doctor, and that I didn't play in that clip. That doctor said that Trump, he has no doubt in his mind that Trump is healthy enough to complete this term and another 4 years if he decides to run and is reelected. And that is, of course, just horrible news to the liberals and the communists. And speaking of liberals and communists, over the weekend there was that fake. Hawaii had that false alarm. The alarm went off for incoming missiles, nuclear missiles. People panicked. It went on for about half hour. Did you hear about this, Andrew?
Everybody heard about it.
I'm asking you. Nah, don't say everybody heard about it. Maybe there's probably a lot of people in the audience. Those 7 people in the audience, maybe they didn't hear about this. I won't get into what happened. They're blaming Trump now. That they were blaming Trump for this because it's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault.
But somebody pushed the wrong button. It happens.
No, it's Trump's fault that they have a dictator controlling a rogue state in North Korea. North Korea is almost is close to is third from last in poorest countries in the world, and this guy is launching missiles in the Pacific towards Japan. It's Trump's fault that this alarm system went off. It's his fault. And speaking of celebrity actors, Jim Carrey, what is he famous for? Making stupid faces, Dumb and Dumber. This is the guy who is telling us.
I can't lie.
Yeah. So he went on Twitter and he says he woke up this morning with 10 minutes to live. It's Trump's fault because of his hate and this and that. And he's are you kidding me, Jim? Are you serious? Any excuse to bash Trump? I mean, you're kidding me. It's ridiculous.
You'd like to get free cable, sir.
Yeah, was that the Dumb and Dumber?
No, the cable guy.
The cable guy. God,
Matthew Bondrick.
What does he say?
How would you like to get free Showtime?
Yeah, we're going to take advice from an idiot playing a retard for a living. That's what he does. He plays a retard. All his parts he plays a retard in all his movie parts. Anyway. We're getting a little long in the tooth. We have to go, and we're going to read the news. Andy's going to read the news for the first time in a couple weeks, if you like.
All right, developing story. Nervous Republicans fear they'll pay if government shuts down on Friday night.
Andrew, that's not what I'm reading in the teleprompter.
Well, I'm sorry, but I had to add this last second. This is very important.
Okay. Let's read this.
President Trump is confident the Democrats will take blame if the government shuts down this weekend, while Congress fails to find a fix that prevents DACA recipients from being deported. But Republicans on Capitol Hill aren't too confident about this. Many of them fear that voters will fault the Republicans after looking at Trump's decision to end the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. His past filtration with letting federal funding expire in March.
All right, hold on. Because I'm getting mad here, Miz. First of all, he's not letting anything expire. This was Obama. Obama did this.
But the program expires in March.
Yeah, I know. It's a temporary. It was never a permanent thing. Obama did this on his own by executive power. It was temporary. It's up to Congress to fix this. And this ties into the shithole comment, the alleged shithole comment that was.
Let me be clear.
Yeah. That's in the closed door meeting. Whoever that was, the senator, he leaked this. It was a ploy because now what are they doing? Schumer and the other communists are telling Trump, you got to prove you're not. If you prove, then prove you're not a racist and sign the Dream Act. So this is all crap.
Honestly, the way I feel about this is that the Democrats are going to be to blame because Pelosi is just bashing down her liberal agenda to say, we have to save DACA right now, or we will shut down the federal government.
Yeah, Yeah. And by the way,
It's another excuse by Pelosi. All right.
Yeah, shouldn't she get the cognitive thing?
Exactly.
Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andrew. I got to interrupt you. The cognitive test. So what is the cognitive test? It's a psychological test, and Trump took, according to the doctor who we heard at the top of the show, he took the harder one, the longer one, and this is one of the tests. I'm not saying this is the one he took, but this is the cognitive fit. It's called the CAB. The Cognitive Assessment Battery is a complete neurocognitive test designed to provide helpful and accurate resources to healthcare professionals. That's what he was talking about. The CAB will give professionals the access to a tool that was created to detect impaired cognitive domains in people, both with and without pathologies. This tool uses cognitive tests to measure cognitive level and assess each user's cognitive state. These tests are reliable and valid. That means they work. They produce the results they're intended to. This neurocognitive tool assesses a large range of cognitive skills related to executive functions and allows for precise measurement of cognitive decline, and through cognitive tests provides a depiction of the user's cognitive function. The neuropsychological assessment from CogniFit has different areas, each of which is made up of various tasks to help evaluate the user's performance in different neuropsychological environments. These areas are the following. It's memory area, nonverbal memory, working memory, short-term memory, anything basically. Attention area, divided attention, focus, inhibition, updating, perception area, spatial, visual, coordination area, hand-to-eye coordination, response time, reasoning area, processing speed, planning, shifting. So, with that said,
Pelosi needs this test.
Do you think? I would bet. I would go and empty out my bank account and put money that she wouldn't be able to pass this test. She wouldn't be able to pass. This woman. Do you want to talk about?
Remember, President Bush is a charmer.
You want to talk about forgetting? You want to talk about forgetting names and stuttering? She last year she kept referring to Trump as President Bush.
George W. Bush.
Even her stupid crime and partner, Maxine Waters, who another one. I would love to see her. I would double down on her taking the test. These two kooks. Yeah, these two kooks, these nincompoops. I would love to see them. Andrew, so good. So you were saying now with this? Oh yeah. 1 second. The government shutdown, and people are going to say, "Oh, Trump is responsible for the government shutting down." The government shutting down is nothing new. It happens all the time in almost every administration. It happened during Obama's administration many times.
And it happened during Bill Clinton's.
It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not. It has nothing to do with anything. It's not that the government is shutting down and there's no law and order. It's not that. Anyway, go ahead, Andrew. Continue.
Okay, so when there are shutdowns, Republican Charles Dent said, "Our side usually takes the hit." He is retiring from the competitive Allentown, Pennsylvania-based district he's representative for nearly a dozen years. It would be difficult for us to deflect the blame, whether we deserve it or not, he added. And with Democrats showing unexpected strength in recent elections, considering 2017, the latest in a victory in Tuesday in a Wisconsin State Senate district that Trump carried easily in 2016, Republicans know they don't have enough margin for error heading into the midterm elections this November. Yesterday, the president laid out his argument that Democrats don't really want to extend protections to DACA recipients and that they would be to blame for a shutdown. So again, it's Pelosi. Remember that.
Yeah, Schumer.
Schumer too. I forgot about him.
Of course.
But it was the Justice Department that announced in September that DACA would be canceled in March, like I said earlier, creating a 6-month window for Congress to write legislation protecting immigrants who were brought to the United States illegally as children or allowed them to be facing deportation. In essence, President Trump hung a sword over lawmakers and lit the court holding it in place. Negotiations between a bipartisan Senate group and the White House broke down last week in an acrimonious meeting at which Trump... Acrimonious, there we go. Acrimonious meeting at which the president reportedly expressed his preference for immigrants from Norway over those from Haiti and African nations. Trump has also responded that the media accounts are inaccurate, and on Tuesday, the president said he wanted immigrants to come to America from everywhere.
Right. So basically, instead of this is about a lottery-based system versus a meritocracy. A meritocracy is based on merit, and of course, when you're a communist, when you're a liberal, they want equal results. They want lottery. They want participation awards. They don't want to give first place awards.
Well, if the Democrats are that desperate, they're going to try to do anything to get this DACA thing done.
And make no mistake, they don't care about immigrants. They care about they want votes. They want They want these immigrants to vote.
They want Wall Street to support them.
They want immigrants to vote Democrats, and they want cheap labor. They want cheap labor. That's what it is. They want cheap labor. All the rich people want immigrants, illegal aliens to clean their houses, their maids, watch their children, cut their fruit. They're the racists. And to suggest that only people of color come from shithole countries is racist. There's plenty of white people that come from shithole countries.
Name one.
I don't know, like Croatia.
Okay, that's one.
Places like that. There's a lot of shithole countries. Don't let me go down the one. And then there's a lot of shithole countries, Andrew. Trust me.
Venezuela's one.
Yeah, but that's they're saying that. I'm saying to assume that only people of color come from shithole countries. That's racist.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's other people from around the world who come from different race and origins, and they come from shithole countries.
There's countries in Africa that are white. South Africa's white.
South Africa, definitgo.
Yeah. So and there's other countries.
They had apartheid for decades.
Yeah, and now it's almost opposite racism. Anyway, go ahead, Andrew. You want to read from the teleprompter the first article? Oh,
the anniversary of the Monica Lewinsky headline.
Yes, It was 20 years ago today.
I'm gonna get so mean next.
Let's read, Andrew. 20 years ago. So it's 20 years ago that the Drudge Report. I didn't know that he was around. It was around that long. So the Drudge Report actually broke the story, and the White House was actually following and talking to Matt Drudge about this. This was a major scandal. Bill Clinton, who basically got a BJ in the he was cheating on his wife. By
the way, Monica Lewinsky's hot now for a 40-something-year-old.
Yeah, she is. I guess she got a lot of.
She's single.
Yeah, who's going to marry her, Andrew? Who's going to marry her?
Oh, you never know, Frank. People have really messed up fantasies.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying who's going to marry her?
Mary. Oh, that's something long term you have to think about.
Yeah, I'm saying, you're saying she's single. You're surprised she's single. How is any guy going to marry? Oh, hi, this is my wife, Monica Lewinsky. Oh, Monica Lewinsky. Oh, is it that the woman who blew the president in the Oval Office? Bill Clinton inserted his cigar.
Wait a minute. Do you remember the Eminem song "My Name Is," where Eminem parodied that in the music video?
Yeah, that's when Eminem was actually cool. Bill Clinton doing as they call it, unspeakable acts.
Unspeakable acts.
Yeah. He stuck his cigar.
Nobody really didn't think about oral sex back then.
Yeah, no, it's not only oral sex. He used to smoke cigars, Bill Clinton, and he inserted a cigar in her JJ and then smoked it. Yeah, and of course, we had the stained dress, his cum stains on her dress that got taken away for evidence. I mean,
the Beyonce made that reference. Monica Lewinsky all over my, you know what?
Yeah. So I mean, this is who these idiots were going to vote for his wife. The only reason she stood by Bill Clinton was
I'm Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, you're a cunt. The only reason why she stuck with Bill, and make no mistake, Andrew, this wasn't Bill Clinton's first mess up. This guy going back.
Yeah, but I mean, he had that 60-minute interview in the '92 election.
Yeah, how many women came forward accusing him of rape? Remember last year during the debates, Trump He brought in the 3 women, and of course the Democrats in Hollywood, they care about women so much that they start bashing these women, saying they're gold diggers, they're out for money. Only when it suits them. Only when it suits them. But when Trump in private makes I grab him by the pussy, he grabs women who want to have sex with him by the pussy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Grabbed by the pussy.
Yeah. So that this was the news story. So again, double standard. China. This was a major scandal. He got impeached. He didn't get removed from office. They didn't remove him from office because it was the world. You want to talk about the world laughing at America? They were laughing. They only kept him in there because he had 2 more years to go, and they don't. Yes, I love that. So they didn't want to. They just. It was just a thing. And to cap it off, when the Clintons left the White House, they auctioned off furniture from the Lincoln bedroom. These people are they're scum.
I'll tell you who else is scum.
Matt Lauer can suck it.
Yes.
And
I'm Al Franken.
Yeah, another scumbag. Who he's a scumbag. Who he's morally outraged about Trump grabbing him by the pussy and what and all those pictures came out.
You know what's so crazy? When those pictures were coming out, I was having a corporate lunch at Long Island Jewish when the story broke. Isn't that messed up?
Yeah. I mean, come on, this guy, and of course, when Trump says impeach, grab him by the pussy, 15 years ago in private, it wasn't even proven. He could have been bragging to Billy Bush. He could have just been bragging. Oh, he's the worst type of evil in the world. But when Franken gets his pictures, we don't want to remove him. Anyway, all right, let's move on, Andrew, because we're running short on time. You want to read that story about Sweden?
Sweden. Where is it? I can't find it.
All right. Sweden distributes 4.7 million leaflets.
Sweden. I didn't get an article from Sweden.
You didn't get an article from Sweden. It's right under this article.
Which one? The Monica Lewinsky one?
Yeah. If you keep scrolling down, it says the White House was...
Oh, okay. I see it now. Yeah, because I think it cut off when I copied and pasted.
Yes.
Okay. Sweden distributes 4.7 million leaflets on how to prepare for war with Vladimir Putin and the Russians. Sweden is reportedly preparing to issue a public information manual on the best way to deal with the prospect of war as talks rage over an apparent rise in the rest of Russia. The brochure, which was sent to 4.7 million households, will tell the public how they can take part in total defense during a war and secure food, water, and heating. Oh, man, Frank. It's bad enough that the United States is getting praised up with North Korea. Now the Swedes are getting messed up and
This is garbage. It's because Sweden is taking in so many Muslim immigrants, and Russia doesn't want immigrants, especially Muslims, coming into their country. And this is
no! I know what they're afraid of, Frank. They're afraid of the Soviet Union.
Yeah. It's crazy. But anyway, here's this. It's not only Sweden. It's a lot of countries in Europe who are just basically they're just converting to Islam, and they want this. That's what they want. And here, I'll play a clip.
Look at that fucking...
This is the.
Wait, Frank, I have my clip. Listen to this.
Oh.
This is what they're afraid of.
Yeah, but listen. That's
Frank, make your point.
The Soviet Union ended in 1990. Now this Russia right now with Putin, they're as democratic as you can be, I guess. But they're capitalists. They're not communists anymore. So Russia is it's not communism anymore. Back then, people feared the Soviet Union because of communism. They didn't want the Soviets invading all these countries. But anyway,
Soviet Union.
Yeah. Well, we're living the media right now. They're like the Soviet Union. Anyway, this is the Polish MEP who he always he lays the smackdown on all these liberal communists from the European Union.
expressions.
He's just telling them to their faces, you are going to cause the downfall of Europe. And they can't even imagine thinking about it.
What must be done? Our enemy is not in Moscow. Our enemies are in mosques. In the mosque of Paris, in the mosque of Marseille. What we should do is to reject the socialism.
He wants to say Allah Akbar!
To liquidate all the social benefits, attracting to the Europe's the worst elements and demoralizing all the Europeans. To reintroduce death penalty. We cannot win the war when they kill us and we cannot kill them. In fact, if you are to survive, we must reject all the acquis communautaire. Therefore, I think the European Union must be destroyed.
He's the European Union's own Cato the Elder.
Yes. Listen, what that guy is saying is all these immigrants, they want to go to the European countries where they're handing out welfare. Like Germany, France, in the countries that are not handing out welfare, they don't want to go there. They don't want to go to Sweden. They don't want to go to other countries that in Europe. They don't want to go to the countries that aren't handing out welfare. They want to go to Germany. They want to get paid. So they don't want to work. They just want welfare. They want to go from their shithole countries and go to these other countries with white women and get welfare.
Oh boy, everyone's a hypocrite.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Let's move on. We have.
Wait a minute. I know where I want to read.
Fake news.
That's what I want to read. We have to keep our promise to the audience because if we don't talk about it now, we're going to make our big regret. All right. So, a reporter asked about the fake news awards today during Sarah Huckabee Sanders' press conference. So today, the White House press secretary, Sarah Sanders, took questions from reporters at the White House press briefing, and one of the first inquiries was about the fake news awards, which the administration had promised would happen later today, which Frank talked about earlier. We have no word on that, but the press secretary was asked by multiple reporters when the awards would be and what they would title.
Actually, hold on. Breaking news. Trump did hand out the fake news awards here by the New York Times.
All right, Frank, tell me what is the news.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to get Google is just messed up. Hold on.
Yeah, sure.
Oh wow! All these. I googled fake news awards, and like the first three, it's saying error. I'm going to go on Fox News. See, it doesn't say error. I'm sure those errors, those news sites.
So breaking news: the internet is actually crashing because of this.
No, it's not crashing. I bet you those news outlets are the ones who got fake news. So hold on. It says President Trump revealed the winners of self-proclaimed fake news awards Wednesday night on Twitter. The New York Times topping the list, and I just clicked on the New York Times. Yep. And the fake news winners are. Hold on. Let's see.
Please be Don Lemon. Please be Don Lemon.
This is from GOP. Let's see. Below are the winners of the 2000 fake news awards. The New York Times' Paul Krugman claimed on the day of President Trump's historic landslide victory that the economy would never recover. Paul Krugman says markets will never recover from Trump. Dow hits record high. Number 2, ABC News' Brian Ross chokes and sends markets in a downward spiral with false report. ABC demotes Brian Ross after bungled report on Trump, Russia. Number 3, CNN falsely reported that candidate Donald Trump and his son Donald J. Trump had access to hacked documents from WikiLeaks. Number 4, Time falsely reported that President Trump removed a bust of Martin Luther King Jr. from the Oval Office, which he did not. Number 5, the Washington Compost falsely reported that President Trump's massive sold-out rally in Pensacola, Florida, was empty. This honest reporter showed picture of empty arena hours before a crowd starting to pour in. That was Dave Weigel from the Washington Compost. Number 6, CNN falsely edited a video making it appear President Trump defiantly overfed fish during the visit with Japanese Prime Minister. Japanese Prime Minister actually led the way with feeding guests. We remember that. Number 7, CNN falsely reported about anti-skirmishes meeting with a Russian, but retracted it due to significant breakdown in process. 3 CNN employees resigned over the retracted story on the Russian lies. Number 8, Newsweek falsely reported that Polish First Lady Agatha Kornhauser-Duda did not shake President Trump's hand, which is fake. I'm looking at a picture of it now. Number 9, CNN falsely reported that former FBI Director James Comey would dispute President Trump's claim that he was told he is not under investigation, which he did testify to the Senate in March that he was never under investigation. Never. The New York Times, number 10, New York Times falsely claimed on the front page that the Trump administration had hidden a climate report. New York Times guilty of large screw up on climate change theory. There's so much. You can't keep up with it. And number 11, and last but not least, Russian collusion. I hope you have your sound clip ready. Russian collusion is perhaps the greatest hoax perpetrated on the American people. There is no collusion.
Russian possible collusion.
Yes. Well, now that this is Donald Trump's tweets from @RealDonaldTrump.
Well, I hope Don Lemon gets an award.
Don Lemon. This is Trump's tweets from @RealDonaldTrump.
And I hope Chris Cuomo gets an award too for saying shithole too many times.
So he didn't necessarily single out reporters. He just singled out the media outlets. And Trump's tweet was, well, now the collusion with Russia is proving to be a total hoax, and the only collusion is with Hillary Clinton and the FBI, Russia, the fake news media mainstream, and his phony new book are hitting out at every new front imaginable. They should try winning an election, said. Yeah.
Oh, Fire and Fury.
Yeah. And of course, no mention, you'll never hear any mention in the fake news about Hillary Clinton and Fusion One. They call that debunked. That's debunked. You'll never hear about Obama and his illegal wiretaps. That's not going away. That's still being investigated. Somebody's going to fall for that. I guarantee you. Anyway, and they'll never report that. They'll never report the economy is super strong. ISIS has been defeated in Iraq and Syria. Anyway, Andrew, we're out of time. Can you read the plugs, please?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our show tonight. Thanks
so much news. So much news.
Follow me on Twitter @AndySpartamus. Frank is at EAZZ34.
Andrew, this is a very good show, Andrew. We see when you get into it, you're very good. Spam gives all the latest news and coverage only here on UCY TV. Catch us again next week, live, 8 p.m. Wednesday. Same time, same channel. God bless America.
I got played at 8.
Yes.
Thank you.